Hey there, my name is Brian G. Murphy. I'm one of the co-founders of Theology.com, and I am here to worship. And I'm gonna break every chain. And my God is mighty to save. And Lord, I lift your name on high. And it is well with my soul. Last week, Shay and I put up a video on here where we played a contemporary Christian music edition of Name That Tune, and we had so much fun making it, and y'all loved it, and we loved all the comments that you left and the emails that we got about it, and that got me thinking a little bit more about contemporary Christian music and my relationship to it, because I'm still pretty nostalgic about it, and I listen to it sometimes, you know, it brings up really happy memories, you know, that major chord progression just like speaks to my soul, and sometimes those simple lyrics can feel comforting. But ultimately, it's like really terrible, toxic theology wrapped up in a shiny package. When you take some time to really sit and look at the lyrics, what you see is that it teaches you some really terrible things about yourself and about God, about how we relate to each other, and what it means to be human. And it's not just contemporary Christian music that I get nostalgic about. I also get nostalgic, and maybe you do too, about other parts of our culture, our community, or our churches. You know, my junior high and high school youth group experience was a lot of fun. It was where I first encountered a call to accept Jesus and take the Bible and Christianity from this just like thing that happens around me to something that I care about, that I study, that I learn. But my youth group and my church and that sort of section of Christianity also taught me really terrible things about myself and about other people like me and about other people who were different than me. Terrible things about God, about how we should relate to each other, about who we are as people, and that's like not something that I want to internalize. And so there's this tension, right? Because I really have amazing memories of that time, and I have some terrible memories, and I really love the people that I grew up with who are around side of me. I love that community. Some of those folks are still very much a part of that community, whether it's that particular church that I grew up going to or sort of, you know, conservative Christianity in general. And so if you're anything like me, you might have to hold that tension of really wanting to love and celebrate these people and places and communities, but also knowing that you have to protect yourself and you have to spread the good word. You know, once I found sort of like the good news of the gospel, and queerness really helped me understand that, and I think that could help you, whether you're LGBTQ or straight. I think that queerness has something to teach us about God. It can help us unlock parts of the divine and parts of Christianity that we might otherwise miss. And once I really saw the gospel, I had to celebrate that, I had to live into that, I had to follow that. And that sometimes means leaving folks or places behind. You know, Jesus talks about shaking the dust off your feet if folks won't listen to your message. And we've talked about that on our podcast a few times before, so I'll put links into the description below. But that can be a really faithful thing to do. A few years ago, I was getting lunch with my former junior high director, and he asked me, you know, if you ever move back to the DC area, would you come to Forest Presbyterian Church? And I had to tell him, no. I mean, I could come and visit, I could be a guest from time to time, but there isn't a place for me here. You believe and teach really terrible things about people like me and people I deeply care about. And so that can't be my spiritual home. We need to be part of communities that feed us nourishing food and not poison. We need art that lifts us up, not that tells us that we're ultimately depraved and useless. We need theology that brings us closer to the divine. And so when it comes to contemporary Christian music, yeah, I still listen to it sometimes, but I have to be really careful that I don't stay stuck in or slip back into some terrible toxic theology. I can't spread it around or recommend it or share it. If I had kids, I wouldn't play it for them because ultimately it says really bad things about who I am. And so I can remember the good memories associated with that, but I have to not put it up on a pedestal. I have to not let it be the thing that feeds me. And that's true about other parts of Christian culture, Christian teachings, Christian churches that were important parts in my faith journey, but no longer serve me and that I understand are not part of God's good news in the world. And that's like a tough tough thing to say because I really care about these people and these places, like the specific people and the specific churches that I know and love, but also everyone else that's connected to this sort of like Christian family. I get that there are people who are trying their best to live and learn and love, and that doesn't mean that sometimes people's best intentions doesn't cause great harm in the world. And so I just want to spread the queer gospel. In doing this work with queer theology, I spend a lot of time thinking about the places that I've come from and the people that I've had to leave behind or who have left me behind. We have a digital magazine called Spit and Spirit, and one of the issues is all about journey and exile. If this video is resonating with you, if you sort of see yourself in this like me, I think that that particular issue of Spit and Spirit might really resonate with you as well. You can go to queertheology.com/journey to get it. I'll put a link down below. Also, you can grab just this issue, or you can get a subscription to all of Spin Spirit. It comes with Sanctuary Collective. But I want to now sort of close out this video with the, I guess, letter to from the editor that opened the Journey and Exile issue of Spin Spirit, because it's about the communities where I come from, and I think that you might relate to it as well. So this is what I wrote to open that issue. Each month when I put the full issue together, moving the pieces from black and white words on a screen in a shared folder to a vibrant, colorful magazine, I think of my childhood friends and my childhood church. In many ways, 14-year-old Brian will be proud of Spit and Spirit, and in other ways, I think 14-year-old Brian might be appalled. But I think, or at least I hope, that he would be impressed that I've managed to keep the fire alive, in many ways brighter than ever before, while confronting myself, my whole self, and the messy reality of the world we live in. I miss that church. I miss it more now than ever before, because this issue reminds me that I can never go back. We don't really do dedications for Spit and Spirit, but I'd like to for this one. In Journey Exile, we confront our own journeys and our own exiles in hope that you might do the same. We do it because for all the pain, for all the suffering, for all the ways we felt led astray and unwelcome, we also love, deeply love, our homelands. It wouldn't hurt so much if we didn't care so much. And so I'd like to dedicate this issue to the people and places that we've left behind. This issue exists because we love you so, so, so much. Whether you never left, have found a new home, or are still on the road, this issue is for you. Because we have all have journeys, and we are all touched by exile. Yours for the journey. And I, and Shay, and all of the queer theology community are yours for the journey. I'm so happy to have you here. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now. Oh my god. I did not think I was gonna cry. Holy shit. Where did that come from? Whew.